get started. Good morning, I'm Peter Church and welcome to the Operational Faults Team Trade Show booth. So we'll start off with the starter presentations. So welcome. Kim Marshall and I presenters today for our operational faults team. So to get started, just a bit of a health and safety share or message before we start. We have got a lot of examples of products that we use in the field, and especially the cables there. If you want to pick them up, that sort of thing later, that's fine. Some of them are a bit messy, they're oil filled, but so there's some various size gloves and safety glasses there if you feel like you'd like to pick that stuff up, otherwise the sharp edges. Okay, so just moving on. So our team's got at least 3 different major areas. The first one is the public lighting team. Now that consists of Tony Mash and Troy Oldaker. Now they manage about $250,000 lights for all the councils across the power area, and they use the platform of Salesforce to manage that. And they're currently running about 14,000 faults a year. The customers can go directly onto our PowerCore website, go and report a fault directly. And most of them just seamlessly go through to either our internal resource or external contractors and get completed. Now, but there's GSLs applicable to those, so a lot of the lights that it might be, if you report a light that's near your property, it becomes a GSL light, and you might be a 2-day window to fix that. Otherwise the GSL payment is applicable. So the public light book.
GSL.
Guaranteed service level. You would have known that.
I know that.
and that's a good intro. Please ask questions as you go along. There's no problems with, we'll touch on it in a bit. So with the public lighting, I've brought a couple of the LED type lights they're using. You can have a look later. Now that item there is the new smart cell, PE cell that they're using, which talks on our aiming meter network. So we can talk to those, we can adjust light levels. It might be in the city where trees are reflecting on the light, back of the light, and the light's turning on and off. We can change the light levels for that. We can turn on lights on and off. But the future, there's a lot of future with these with the councils. The councils are requesting these because down the track it might be the local rubbish bin's full. And so this will be able to talk to the bin and go back to the system to tell them they're bin. Or it could be a little weather station or whatever. So there's a lot of things that down the future that we'll be able to do with those. So that's basically the public lighting. So make yourself familiar with that stuff later. Moving on to reliability. The reliability team, now, as James said before, that's only a recent move across from network into services into our group. Now, there's 4 of us in that area. There's Peter Good down at Warrnambool, there's Anura at Ardea, myself up at Bendigo, and Lou Herman's down in City Power. So between us we manage the daytime NAO faults, so for argument's sake a excavator might hit one of our power lines and somebody gets hurt, we report to ESB and raise simulate reports and investigate what happened. We also keep a keen eye on 66 sub-transmission network for outages coming up, but currently lately there's been a lot of work on solar farms and that sort of thing up around the Mallee. So there's been a lot of input from us about single contingencies, so it might be normally a loop 66 system where it's radial while the work's going on. So we can have a look at a lot of that. Now you'll notice there's different items such as this. They put up the stock bark getting onto our insulators, so as it moves along the line. And you'll probably a bit hard to see, but down here you'll see where they're employed, so the bark will come along the line and hit them. So you'll find that sort of thing in the opways and that sort of places where there's a lot of trees and vegetation. They also use the same item for the pelicans and swans, so they can see them when they're flying along. So they serve two purposes, bark and for birds. We have a lot of cable faults. The faults team also get involved in it. You'll see there was one there that blew out down in the Camperdown region recently. You'll see where the fault is, see where it's blown out, and have a look later. And there's different fault indicators on the lines that show us where the faults are, and for cables. And that was an older style bird deflector. So where did I get to? So basically, that's the reliability team gets involved with a lot of projects to reduce faults for customers. We get a lot of cares from customers, and we investigate and try and action to minimise that work. Now, moving on to the faults area, which is predominantly Kev Kelly and Kim Marshall and Tony Sidebottom get involved in a lot of this work from day to day. Now, Kev will manage the fault follow-ups, so crew goes out to a fault and they might fix the fault, get the customer back on, but they notice the crossarm's faulty or the guys coming out of the ground or something like that, so that'll get marked as a fault follow-up and move across. Now, predominantly at the moment we're experiencing about 30,000 faults a year in the network, and about 2,000 faults make it across into the fault follow-ups. There's quite a few extensive faults on major cables, and some of the 66 cable you'll see there that's been failed in due to third-party damage. It might be an auger goes through it or whatever, which causes millions of dollars worth of damage. You'll see on some of the posters behind you later, you'll see some of those examples of the of where we've had to repair some of those oil filter cables. Now also, there's P1s raised every day. You'll see the P1s. A lot of times we'll get involved in the actions about P1s. For example, yesterday down at Warrnambool there was a transformer with low oil in the middle of Warrnambool on the mobile towers. So this morning we're getting a crew in there to isolate it so the EPT guys can go in and top up their oil. So that's P1s, fault follow-ups, and a lot of the major ones is a system that's like Facebook for faults, I suppose. It's Trello. So most of you have experienced some sort of Trello board in recent times. They're quite often a lot of them used in the business. We've got a major major fault Trello board. So there's a lot of management and a lot of buy-in for that. It's been an excellent thing. And also with storms and escalations, we get involved with that. Now, Tony and Kim manage the performance and the productivity side and monitor monitor that, the performance of our system. They produce a dashboard. There's the October one, which you can have a look later, and you'll be able to see on there the cost per fault, the unit rate faults, how many hours goes into a fault on average, and that sort of items that they look at regularly. And there's, along with a lot of our faults, the cost in repairing that. We have 100,000 kV audits that Tony and Kim regularly perform. So they also help us across the team. I'd be lost without them. A lot of times they're raising networks for projects or PMOs for us, so they help out the whole team. Now, moving on to generators, Bruce Munro, he's gone again, doesn't have one of the other presentations. Bruce is our expert with generators in the system. Now we have a fleet of 6 units ourselves. We've got two 1250 units on semi-trailers with transformers with them, which are very quickly deployed. So they get around the state, and we've got some 500 kVA units, and we've got some 350 kVA units, which at the end of the presentation, Bruce, I believe, has got some equipment out in the yard. So at lunchtime, if you want to take a ticket as a reminder, he'll demonstrate the generators out in the yard and give you a tour of them. So please take one of those when we come to the end. But Bruce uses those generators for planned works. So we have, at the moment, going back to that project up around the Mallee with the solar farms, he'll be up there tomorrow at Boundary Bend with generators to support the load out of Boundary Bend while the system is out of its normal configuration. And we also get a lot of faults. We get involved in faults where we have to go in, especially cable faults where it might take days or weeks to diagnose the fault and fix the fault. So I remember there was one there recently. We had a lightning strike on about 5 kilometres of cable up near Mildura, and it blew out every joint. So it took about a week to diagnose it and repair it. So the customer, we would have had 300 customers off the week, I was. So be a little bit upset up in Mildura. So that's what Bruce's does. So basically, give you an opportunity to have a look at this stuff, all the different items we've got here, and when we're finished, please make yourself welcome to grab a drink. There's non-alcoholic cider and non-alcoholic beer, and they've arranged some beautiful cupcakes for us. So first in, there's dressed with those.
Describe stretching.
No, they're refreshments.
Right, reminders of how good John attends to it.
Well, we like to refresh our team.
Very good.
So, any questions? No questions? I must have done it once.
How many people in the team? Total?
Total?
15? Something like that? Doing tens of thousands of items every
About 10, roughly.
10. Tens of thousands.